1962.
You've seen the movies where a helicopter comes up over the side of the hill. That's what I first thought it was. I couldn't compare it with anything. Never seen anything that big before. The wings, they fascinated me, just that big of a wingspan.
Reports of sightings continued to multiply. Soon, even the national press took notice.
Associated Press picks up on it. It's in the Huntington, the Charleston, the Pittsburgh paper. So it just started growing.
It was up to the folks in Point Pleasant to flush out the Mothman.
People were bringing weapons, guns. It was almost a search for Frankenstein. There were miles and miles of cars in the TNT area, night after night.
The state police and National Guard were called in to deal with the mob. Dealing with the Mothman, well, that was a little trickier.
One policeman up there was staking out the powerhouse to keep people out of it. He saw it, and he just drove off, came down, throwed his badge down, and never went back.
State police, National Guardsmen, and reporters weren't the only newcomers in Point Pleasant either. As 1966 gave way to 1967, strangers in black sedans started showing up in town.
They wore the black suits and the black hats. They were real tall and skinny.
We just thought they were government, because if you drove a black car and you wore a black suit and you had black tinted windows, you were government them days.
FBI, CIA, DOD, the mysterious men in black never did say. But one thing was certain, they scared Point Pleasant almost as much as the Mothman did.
One witness went to her mailbox and was approached by one of the men in black. They tried to grab her and pull her into the car and pulled her shirt sleeve off. That's documented.
The men in black were particularly interested in Mary Heyer, the local reporter who first broke the Mothman story.
She played a major role in bringing the story, to the world.
The men in black come to her office on 6th Street and try to get her not to write about the sightings or the Mothman.
Mary refused to back down.
She was the only person that really had enough guts to print some of these Mothman encounters.
But while the gutsy reporter was digging for the truth about the Mothman, was she also digging her own grave?
They said she died of heart failure.
In 1967, the town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, was under siege. By night, a strange creature called the Mothman stalked the town.
We were all scared.
Mom didn't want us out after dark.
And during the day, locals kept busy dodging the mysterious men in black.
They followed us around in these big black cars a lot.
The men in black did more than just follow reporter Mary Heyer, who first broke the Mothman story.
They had her so scared, and she called my mom one night and told her that she had found out something about all this.
Within days of the phone call, Mary was dead.
They said she died of heart failure. She was only 54 years old.
What Mary Heyer knew would remain a mystery, but the even bigger mystery for Point Pleasant was what the Mothman did next. He vanished. Sightings that had numbered in the hundreds during the winter of '66 and '67 dwindled to zero.
First it was every week or every few days, then it would just kind of taper off.
Those mysterious men in black disappeared too. In time, life in Point Pleasant returned to normal. Almost. By the 70s, odd outsiders were once again a common sight around Point Pleasant, even if they didn't drive big black sedans or have hypnotic red eyes.
People who are into the paranormal, from UFOs to Bigfoot, they come here.
And after 2002, the trickle of paranormal researchers turned to a flood.
Once the Mothman Prophecies movie came out, all these people started coming to visit us.
Today, more than 40 years after Merle Partridge first saw it, the town is again the center of Mothman activity. Main Street's home to the world's only Mothman museum. And every September, the Point Pleasant Mothman Festival plays host to paranormal believers from across the globe.
They come from China and Australia and England, all over the United States.
It's kind of changed our town.
And the Mothman has changed too, transformed from terrifying bug-eyed monster to the town mascot.
We got tired of telling everybody what the Mothman looks like, so we built a Mothman statue.
Around Point Pleasant, his likeness is everywhere.
Anything in here's got Mothman on it. It's my own personal drawings. I do the artwork.
Still, the central question remains unanswered. Just what did hundreds of West Virginians see over that 13-month period in 1966 and '67?
I don't think anybody will ever be able to fully explain what it was.
And it's not for lack of trying. There are as many theories about the Mothman as there are people in Point Pleasant.
My theory has been it's an interdimensional creature that can travel some way that we're not able to track it down.
Chief Cornstalk put him here. With the curse, that might have had something to do with the Mothman.
And don't forget the TNT. There are a whole host of theories that revolve around the old munitions experiments.
Some of the people think that this could be a mutation.
Just a mutant bird or just one that ate too much birdseed.
There are other, more mundane explanations, too, even if the folks who saw the Mothman remain unconvinced.
It wasn't any kind of bird or anything that resembled anything like that.
We did not see nothing like this, the long legs and a long neck and a long beak. That is nowhere near nothing of what we saw.
I know what I saw. It had the body of a man.
The debate, even as the town has come to embrace the Mothman, continues to this day.
I'd say that about half the town believes in it, half the town doesn't.
Personally, I do not believe in it. I do believe somebody's seen something and really just blew it out of proportion. They let their imagination get the best of them.
But for believers like Jeff Walmsley, curator of the Mothman Museum, there's just too much evidence to be dismissed so easily.
There were hundreds and hundreds of people that saw this thing, and they all described it the same.
I believe that they believe what they're telling me.
Evidence isn't the main reason some people in Point Pleasant believe in the Mothman, however. In a town where everyone knows everyone, there's also trust.
The people that have had Mothman sightings or encounters, I think are about the most genuine people that you could ever meet. The fact is I've known most of these people since I was just, 5 or 6 years old. There's no doubt in my mind that they did see something.
And no matter what it was, the town of Point Pleasant has never been the same since.
I have a stepson who's a semi-truck driver, and they ask him where he's from, and he says West Virginia. Well, it used to be they looked down to see if you're wearing shoes. Now they ask him if he's ever seen Mothman.